Hey YouTube, this is EbbenMagician34, and this is the deck I recently took to regionals down in Lafayette, Louisiana. I ranked 17th, got my nationals invite, 5 years running. But anyway, I've actually posted this deck before without its side deck, so I'm going to go through the deck pretty quickly. It is Lightsworn, it's 2 Judgment Dragons, 2 Honests, 2 Libas, Aaron, Lumina, Arcus, Ryko, Jane, Garoth, Triple Wolf. This never backfired once either. It was really awesome. I killed a couple of people just by milling these guys for extra damage. It's quite good. Double Celestia, Graganeth. When I posted this deck last time, I was saying this was kind of experimental tech. Wow. All I can say is wow. I won quite a few games, and 3 of my matches out of 8 I won pretty much just because of this guy. He enabled me to kill my opponent when another card like Celestia would have failed, and it would have cost me the game. So this guy's amazing. He allowed me to run over a Battle Fader for 4,400 damage at one point. One that had already been on the field in defense mode. This guy's amazing. I would definitely recommend him to anyone who wants to run Lightsworns now. Necrogardna, Plague Spreader Zombie, 2 copies of Shiny Black Sea, and Gores. This guy was also really amazing. People just, I don't know, I guess they forget that he exists because they'll attack you when you leave them an open field on your first turn and allow you to just run right over them with him. Cold Wave, Giant Trunade, Double MST, Dark Hole, Charge of the Light Brigade, 3 copies of Solar Recharge. It's nice to have one of the few decks in the format that still has pretty consistent drawing power. Double Gold Sarcophagus, Foolish Burial, Monster Reborn, Monster Reincarnation, Trench Tribute, and 2 copies of Beckoning Light. That's the main board. And my sideboard was 2 copies of Effect Veiler. This guy was a great side-in. Hits almost everything, but like especially GB's and X-Sabers do not like it. Nobleman of Extermination. This came in for the MSTs against several opponents. Also pretty devastating. 2 copies of Lightning Vortex. This thing really saved it for me against a couple of people. And yes, we do have Dark Hole, but Lightning Vortex just kind of pours it on. Monster Reincarnation, in case I needed to pull the Beckonings, I can replace one. 2 copies of Consecrated Light, save me once or twice. A couple of copies of Soul Release. 2 copies of System Down. And 2 copies of Wild Tornado. It's nice because of people's MSTs and Dust Tornadoes and stuff like that. If they pop it like right as you set it, you can still destroy the card you want. So, that's side deck and main deck. And the extra deck is pretty straightforward. 2 copies of Stardust Dragon, 1 copy of Scrap Dragon, Colossal Fighter, Infernity Doom Dragon, Thought Ruler Arcfiend, Avenging Knight Parshath, Black Rose Dragon, Scrap Arcfiend, just for that muscle, X-Saber Urbellum, Goa Guardian, Bryanak, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, Tempest Magician, Magical Android, and Allied Justice Catastrophe. Alright, so that's the deck itself, and here are my opponents. So round 1, I play against Scraps. This is pre-Starstruck Blast, so they don't quite have all their support necessarily, but it's still really consistent. It's scary what they can do with Scrap Storm and stuff like that in the end phase, and yeah. It was a good deck, but it was just, I had a fast, really consistent deck, and I just managed to overpower him and beat him down. That's pretty much it. So, round 1 I went on that. Next round, I'm up against Blackwings. Once again, Lightsworns are just kind of more consistent, and they have more staying power than Blackwings, so I just powered through them, and Celestia kind of gets around Kalut, so they just really don't have it anymore, I guess. It's kind of a shame, but anyway. I took him down. Graganeth helped me kill them in 1 game. It was quite nice. Alright. Round 3 got a little more serious. I was 2-0 at this point, and I played against Gemini City. He's a really good player. He had the full deck. He wasn't, going halfway. I mean, it was 3-pot duality, the works. And, yeah, the deck just blows your stuff away so quickly, so often. You can't really mill. You can't really do anything. It was a really good game. It was a really good match. I enjoyed it. He just outplayed me. It's a really good deck. Can't complain. Round 4, I'm up against X-Sabers. He got a couple of bad draws that kind of hurt him, but I also got a bad draw once or twice, and just the fact of the matter is, I kind of ran him out of threats and back rows, and once those were gone, I could just bowl him over. And Effect Veiler really helped from the side deck, too. Alright, next up it was Machina Gadgets. And I took this guy to game 3, and no lie, he basically just won because he top decked out of it. I had like 3 cards left and they were all monsters. He had like less than half his life points left. No cards on field or in hand. He top decks Monster Reborn for Fortress. Next turn he top decks Gear Frame to get another Fortress. So it was, basically he just top decked out of it. But sacking happens. It was a good match overall. But I was 3-2 at that point. Didn't feel too great. Next I ended up playing against a guy who was running sort of like a Vayu Turbo, but it also had Summoner Monk and Phantom of Chaos and Sky Scourge Norlaris. It was an interesting deck, and he had like Dark Creator and stuff, so he could use trade in. It was interesting, it was fast. Game 2, he went first, and first turn he managed to get Norlaris in the grave and Phantom and make my whole hand disappear. I lost Charge of the Light Brigade, Solar Recharge. It was pretty awful. I was expecting to lose that one. I managed to get out of it because I top decked Consecrated Light 2 turns later and sat and hid behind it for like 10 turns while I was building up other stuff. The turn after I got Consecrated, I got Aaron Lightsworn Monk, and that pretty much sewed it up because he can still set with Consecrated, but Aaron kept bouncing it back to his deck. So after that, it was just a matter of drawing out of it. So basically, Consecrated Light got me that one in game 2 and didn't make me go game 3 because it was a good start. So 4-2, I go into a guy. He's running Black Salvo, and this is like, I guess what you call just a real dark deck. It was kind of dark chaos. It ran Chaos Sorcerer, Black Salvo, Decoy Chi, Dimensional Alchemist, Battle Faders. He battle faded me to death to take game 2. And this is the guy who I ended up, he was at like 3,200, and he had battle faded me, and I was pretty confident he had the third one in his hand, which he did. I had like 5 cards left in my deck, and I reincarnated to bring back Dragoneth and ran over. And like 2 turns later, he died. I mean, it was 44 over Battle Fader. He was gone. And then 5 and 2, I go into Gladiator Beasts, and basically just the side deck alone killed him. So yeah, that's how it goes, because he took game 1, but heavy side decking kills GBs. They just can't handle stuff like Effect Veiler and Vortex and all that good stuff. I mean, all this came in against him. It was pretty nasty. I brought in the Reincarnate, the 2 Vortexes, the 2 Extermination, and the 2 Effect Veilers, and he couldn't keep anything going, and he kept losing monsters, and what was true when Gladiator Beasts were pretty new is still true. If you can run them out of monsters, you pretty much win by default. So, and those are my matches. 8 rounds, 8 different opponents. You don't get that a lot in Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore. But anyway, that's the deck, and until next time, rate, comment, subscribe, and enjoy.